And good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Instagram. Your Facebook pastor and friend, Pastor Evie McCray, your YouTube motivator, and your Instagram inspirer. Eric Coach Mac McCray coming to you live with a dive in check in. Now this is gonna be a different. This is dive in check in uncut. I'm gonna be coming on for a minute now because I gotta get this word out. So as you come in, like and share, let people know about uh, this dive in check in. As you come in, just get yourself prepared because this is dive in check in uncut. Yeah, dive in check in uncut. And so we're going to be dealing with some critical issues that I think are apropos for our time. And want you to just get yourself prepared, get yourself ready to receive this dive in, check in, uncut. We're going to be talking for a little bit about lessons learned too late. Yeah, lessons learned too late. Lessons learned too late. And so, happy Martin Luther King birthday. I know some of y'all chilling in the cut, and it's good. But I think this is that today's date, today's holiday that we're celebrating is apropos for what we're going to talk about. Because today we're celebrating the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, which is a national holiday. And which so banks are closed, people are off, and it's a wonderful situation. But what I want to bring up as I get into lessons learned too late, I want to talk about the fact, and I learned this when I was at Lamont on back in the early 90s. I learned that Dr. King, during his time, everybody celebrates Dr. King now. Everybody celebrates, the legacy, I Have a Dream and all that. But when I was at Lamont, I read up on some articles and did some research and found out that Dr. King wasn't celebrated by most clergy in many cases. They said that he was a troublemaker. Now, once again, everybody celebrates him now because he of course was assassinated in 1968. But now everybody, all across the country and even the world, they're having services. And some of the very people that are celebrating Dr. King, they were against him when he was alive doing what he was doing. Well, once again, there's a book called A Vision for Black Men that you probably want to check out. And in this book, it talks about the fact that once again, Dr. King, when he was alive, he was considered a troublemaker by many clergy, right? Once again, the people that are celebrating him now considered him to be a troublemaker when he was alive. He was causing trouble, stirring up folk, and with all of this nonviolence and causing problems in the cities. The reason why I bring this up, because as we deal with lessons learned too late, this is dive in, check in, uncut. I'm trying to tell you. Today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you several things, several lessons that are learned too late. And if you are intelligent enough, you'll grab a hold to what I'm about to share with you and look at what others have learned from lessons learned too late. And let's make sure that we don't have to learn those same lessons, that we just pay attention to what they did and how and what happened to them because of the lessons that were learned too late. So the first one is, and here it is, important people come and go, and that's okay. All right. Important people come and go, and that's okay. I'm gonna say it one more time. This is the one of the lessons learned too late, that important people come and go, and that's okay. All right. Once again, we talked about Dr. King. Once everybody is celebrating him now. Everybody, oh, Dr. King, we shall overcome. But not everybody was with him on his journey. All right. And so in your life, you must understand that people, in many cases in your life, have seasons in your life. Okay. You need to understand that. And in that season in your life, a person may be important. So you need to understand, you must understand that people, man, will that they serve a purpose in your life. They serve a purpose, and they serve to get you to a certain level, right? Let me do it like this. Your kindergarten teacher was vitally important, but he or she was important to get you to the next level. You must understand that sometimes, in many cases, um, people are not going to always be in your life. You've heard me talk about this before. If you've been with me some time, you have what you call confidants, you have constituents, and you have comrades. I'm gonna start with let me start with confidants. Confidants are people who know all of the stuff that they can about you, the good, bad, and indifferent, but they're still with you in your life. Okay. These people are going to be in your life forever. They know the good and bad about you, but they don't come against you because they know you and they care about you. Those are confidants. You're only going to have one or two, maybe three in your lifetime. One, two, maybe three at the most confidants in your life. Okay. All right. Those are confidants. Okay. And then you'll have constituents. Constituents are people who believe what you believe. Check this out. They believe what you believe, and they look like they're confidants. But what you must understand is that a constituent will leave you if they can find somebody to take them quicker and higher than you can. Okay. So a constituent looks like a confidant. A constituent looks like somebody that'll be there for you. But you must understand that when it get good morning to everybody that's coming in. Good morning, Sister Anderson, Sister Sheila, Bernie Mac, to all of you, Jamora, all of you that are coming in. But you need to understand. So a confidant knows your dirt, but guess what? They wouldn't come against you because they care about you. A constituent, they believe what you believe, right? But they don't believe so much in you. They just believe what you believe. And so once again, if they get a way to get up, they'll leave you. So as we're talking about this, man, when I read this last night, I was like, I got to do this. This is dive in, check in, uncut. You must understand that important people come and go, and that's okay. So you got the confidant, you got the constituent. The confidant believes in you. The constituent believes what you believe, but they'll betray you if somebody can get them further than you can. And then you have the comrade. The comrade don't believe in you. They don't believe what you believe, but y'all got the same enemy. All right. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let me say that again. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. In other words, a comrade is somebody that'll roll with you to complete an objective. And then once they complete that objective, you better get out of their way because they will stab you in the back. Let me do it again. A confidant is somebody who believes in you. A constituent is somebody who believes what you believe. Good morning, Brother Marvell. God bless you, sir. A constituent is somebody who believes what you believe. A comrade is someone who has the same enemy that you have. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because oftentimes we make mistakes by putting comrade and constituents in confidant situations. You think that people are going to be with you. You think that people, but what happens is when you don't do what they want you to do, you'll find out whether they are a confidant, a constituent, or a comrade. In many cases, with a confidant, you may not do what they want to do, but they won't leave you because y'all connected. They believe in you, regardless of the fallout. Y'all get back together. It's always that person that, you get mad at them and whatever, and everything be tripping. It don't seem like y'all gonna ever come back together. But when you're a confidant, y'all come back together. Constituent, once again, man, they'll get high. Man, they'll get what they can get from you and move on. I'm saying this because you need to understand that important people come and go, and that's okay. This is the lessons that is learned too late. We try to hold on to people, right, who were important in a season. Listen to what I'm saying. They were important in a season. And because they were important in that season, you try to hold on to them and bring them to that next level. And many times folk don't want to go. People just comfortable being where they are. So here's the first lesson. Here's the first lesson that is learned too late. Important people come and they go, and it's okay. Quit trying to hold on to people who don't want what you want. They don't desire what you desire. You don't. They could care less about what it is you're trying to do. So when a person all of a sudden is completely adversarial in everything that you do. Bernie Mac, I think, put out a quote that said, "The right person, or if you're in a relationship, I'm quoting it wrong, but I'm gonna say it the way I think it's said, that the right person will bring you peace, but the wrong person will break you into pieces." I think that it's something like that. Go to Bernie Mac's page and you'll see what she said. The right person will bring you peace, but the wrong person will break you into pieces. The bottom line is, on this dive in, check in, uncut lessons that are learned too late. There are people right now, man, who are struggling because you're constantly holding on to people who the expiration date have expired. I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to bring people along that don't want to go, man. And that's why I call this dive in, check in, uncut. Important people come and they go. Did y'all hear what I just said? Important people come and go. Teddy P says it better. I love Teddy P. Teddy P was one of the most prophetic persons on the planet. Teddy P said, "I think I better let it go, because it looks like another love, TKO." Teddy P said, "This thing right here ain't even, this thing ain't working no more. And once it ain't working, let it go and quit reminiscing about when people had importance in your life, because you can't move forward reminiscing." Yeah, reminiscing is only for a moment. You get up and you got to go. You understand what I'm saying? So understand that important people come and go, and that's okay. It's okay for folk to leave you. Listen to me. It's okay for people to make up their mind that they don't want to be with you no more. Listen to me. This is gonna hurt you. This is why we're calling this uncut. It's even okay for people to betray you. But because in many cases, it's the betrayal of people who once were important in your life that caused you to get to the level that God really has for you. I'm trying to tell you what I know, what a God love, and that's the truth. You need to understand that God is saying to you today, important people come and important people go, and it's okay. Don't you lose your hope, your future, your goals, because all of a sudden people leave your life, or here it is, ready for the uncut, or you've got to dismiss people out of your life. Did y'all hear what I just said? You got to dismiss folks. Sometimes, once again, Teddy P, he said, "I think I better let it go." In other words, it's up to me, right? So these are lessons that are learned too late. There are people right now who are living in the ashes of their lives because they refuse to let important people go, because they're important, they had expired. Their expiration date on being important had expired. I bring this up because in the book of Acts, y'all know Paul in Acts 13, and you can read it on your own. In Acts 13, the Bible says that they were fasting and praying, and the Holy Spirit says, "Separate unto me Barnabas and Paul. Separate unto me Barnabas and Saul." Okay, and so what happened was, I'm gonna give you the North Memphis version. They went and they began to minister. They began to go forth. But what happened was, Barnabas, check this out, he was the leader, because the scripture says, "Separate unto me Barnabas and Saul." In other words, Barnabas was the one who gave Saul the platform. Okay, but when it was time to do the work, I'm doing it North Memphis style. When it was time to do the work, Barnabas got scared and Saul stepped up to the plate. And when Saul stepped up to the plate, Saul became the leader by default, because Barnabas, who was an encourager, didn't want to deal with a situation. He didn't want to deal with the issue. They were dealing with a sorcerer. And because Barnabas basically knew the man, Barnabas didn't want to deal with it. Listen to me. And so what happens is, when it comes down to dealing with situations, when it comes down to dealing with circumstances that require critical decisions, some people who have importance in social circles can't do business. I hope y'all just heard what I said. There are some people, man, they'll kill the game when it comes down to socializing. But they don't do business well. They don't do budgets. They don't do business plans. But they can socialize with the best of them. And in your life, you need to understand where you have to place people. Important people come and they go, and it's okay. So what happened is that Paul, by default, became the leader. Well, guess what? Barnabas feeling some kind of way. And so then it gets deeper. It gets deeper because Barnabas had a nephew by the name of John Mark. And so they were traveling with, he was traveling with Paul and Barnabas, who God said, separate them and let them come together. Paul, I want separate me, Barnabas and Paul. And they were traveling, and so Barnabas decided to bring his nephew John Mark. But what happened was they came to a critical juncture. They came to a crossroad where they had to deal with some hard stuff. And guess what happened? John Mark left them folk hanging. John Mark left them hanging. Listen to me. It's okay. Now watch this. John Mark was a disciple. He was running with the apostles. John Mark was all of that. But when it got critical, John Mark left. And you need to understand, you got to quit labeling people so quickly. You label them as, oh, this is my buddy. Oh, this is my friend. And you ain't seen them deal with controversy yet. Yeah. You know a relationship good when y'all done went at each other, but y'all still holding on. That's a great relationship. John Mark, see, because I don't need nobody that's just with me when I'm on the mountaintop. I need somebody to be with me when I done bought some timeshare in the valley. Y'all hear what I just said? Yeah. You don't need nobody with you that like to sit up on the mountaintop and drink lemonade. You need somebody when you got timeshare in the valley. Yeah. Right. But what find out, thank God for valley experiences, because what you find out is that people have a certain level of importance. I hope y'all getting something out of this dive in, check in, uncut, because man, this stuff is critical. These are lessons that are learned too late. Anyway, John Mark left his uncle Barnabas and Paul hanging in the middle of the battle, in the middle of a situation. John Mark got on down. You hear me? And so when everything got back good, they were getting ready to travel again. And this is in Acts chapter 15. And I'm going to read these verses. But so it was time to travel again. So Barnabas was the encourager. He was the optimistic one. He was the Joel Osteen. He was the, you know what I'm saying? He was the man. He said, so I'm going to read Acts 15. Verse number 36, and some days after, Paul said to Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do. In other words, Paul said, let's go check in on the churches, make sure everybody all right. And Barnabas, here, verse 37, and Barnabas determined to take with him John, who's surnamed Mark. But Paul thought it not good to take him with him. Let me break it down North Memphis style. Paul said, no, man, that trick left us the last time. I told y'all this dive in, check in, uncut. Paul said, no, man, that man left us hanging at a critical time. And Paul said, no, we're not taking him with us, because if it get critical again, he has proven that he'll leave. Did y'all hear what I just said? Good morning, Pastor Pepino. So you need to understand that in these lessons that are learned too late, people keep trying to bring folk along, man, who have proven to you that they can't be relied on. They've proven to you that if they don't get their way, they'll betray you. They're proven to you that they will cut your throat. I heard a preacher say a long time ago, a very famous preacher. They say he was so cold, say he would cut your neck and you wouldn't know your throat was cut till you move your neck. I said that's how smooth he was. You got people that will slick, leave you hanging. Know that you waiting on you. They know you waiting on them to pick them up. They know you was waiting on them to come and help. But all of a sudden, something came up. You want to know why? Because in a certain area in your life, good morning, Brother Andre. Good morning, Devil Dog. Good morning to you, Shock Troop, Leatherneck. In the midst of situations, you need to understand, man, that people will show who they really are. Now watch this. They were important as long as things are okay. But when the bottom drop out, man, here they go. They tripping. And so here it is. I'm in Acts 15. I didn't put no scriptures down so you can read it on y'all. Acts 15, verse number 37. And Barnabas determined to take with them John Mark, the one who had proven he couldn't be trusted, right? But Paul thought it not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia and went not with them to the work. In other words, when it was time to work, John Mark didn't want to work. How many folk lessons, listen to me, lessons that were learned too late? How many of you are holding on to people who are only there when the fishes and loaves are there, but won't pick up a hook, won't grab a net, won't even get in the boat, but they be the first one at the table with the napkin around their neck and the fork, talking about some where the hot sauce at, because all they do is eat. I hope y'all hear me. Like I said, I'm going to be coming on strong, be coming on hard with this dive in, check in, uncut, because you need to understand that important people come and go, and it's okay. Like I said earlier, for those of you that have been on this since I've been here, Dr. King is celebrated today, but everybody that's celebrating him today wasn't with him when he was going through. Yeah. There's a lot of theories about Dr. King dying. There's a lot of theories now. And the reason why I'm bringing this out here, because people have a season. And you got to be intelligent enough, brothers and sisters, to know, man, when people have worn out their season. Once again, there are some confidants. You only going to have 1, 2, maybe 3 confidants. These are the people that are consistent. They be there, man. They be there. Yeah. So you had a Judas in his circle. Yeah. So the thing is that you need to understand that, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't going to even mention that part, but let me go and mention it since y'all blame this on Evangelist Brooke for bringing this up. Judas, Jesus selected Judas. But Jesus, unlike us, understood Judas's purpose. And in many cases, we don't have a deep enough discernment to understand that people are seasonal. At the moment you can understand that people are seasonal, the best your life will start to be. You'll start being better. Now, thank God for the people that you got in your life that you know your ride and die. I got a couple of ride and dies. I'm talking about in my family and friends. I just got a few, just a few. And I know because they have proven themselves. Because they've seen me on the bottom. They've seen me under the rubble. And guess what? They didn't leave. They dug me out of the rubble. They dug me out. Man, they didn't leave me there. They found out if I was living and they dug in. But that's only a few people. So when you understand, then you won't have to learn this lesson too late. This is the title of this uncut dive-in check-in, lessons learned too late. This lesson number 1, and I hope y'all getting something out of this, that important people, they come and they go, and it's all right. You ain't got to cry over it. You ain't got, some of y'all right now, you were best friends with somebody. They ain't best friend no more, y'all enemies. Yeah, you want to know why? Because they had a season in your life. Seasons come, seasons go. But you don't die over a season. Don't you die in no season, man. Don't you die in no season with what people are doing and saying and all of that stuff. You keep going and you keep growing, right? All right. So watch this. So Paul said to Barnabas, no, that man can't come with us this time. He said, no, that man can't come. I'm still in Acts 15, verse number 39. I'm in verse 39. Now, check this out. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. In other words, it got so heated between Paul and Barnabas, ready, who started out together. Because in Acts 13, the Holy Spirit says, separate unto me Barnabas and Saul. Here they are, they rolling together. But a situation broke out. And watch this. Situations will determine who people are in your life. I'm trying to tell you. Situations. John Mark was a man who was connected and related to Barnabas. And I'm learning this, just because somebody connected to you, just because somebody got the same blood you got, don't mean they got the same love that you may have for them. I'm just saying it now. I'm just saying it. Yeah, you have to be careful, man. Just because a person look like you and all that, you need to understand something. That, man, in many cases, we talk about the folks that brung, that they said that, white man went over and brought us from Africa. He couldn't do it. It was tribes selling out other tribes. Now I'm gonna get some pushback on this, but this is uncut anyway, man. Don't white people just go over into Africa and get no brothers, no kings and princes. These people that were gotten because other tribes sold them out. What did they sell them out for? Because if I get rid of them, I ain't got to fight them no more. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Where that part of history at? Well, we talk about we sold each other out. Yeah, ain't no way for no white people to go over and just go in there and grab. Man, he's strong and as bold and as correct. And ain't no way. But what happened was tribes were fighting against each other. And when those tribes would capture POWs, prisoners of war, they would sell them to the slave traders. Now, this uncut. Y'all hear what I just said? Yeah. So it's this selling out, man, and people will sell you out, man. People will sell you out for 30 pieces of silver, right? But watch this. The reason why it hurt so bad, because they had importance in your life. And what you didn't know, I'm getting ready to say something that is very uncuttable. And that is this, is that people were important in your life, but you were not important in theirs. They could have cared less about you when they connected with you. All they were trying to do to see what they could get out of you. I'm trying to tell you, this is how this is gonna be for this dive in, check in, uncut. I hope y'all gonna be able to handle this. That man, you kept on caring and had a person on a pedestal in your heart, and they had you underneath their feet. Because they never did care about you. They never did care. All they cared about was what you were able to produce, because you are a producer. You're somebody that's innovative. You're somebody that can make it happen. You're somebody that can get up and go. And people been watching you, because haters are spectators. They watch, and then what they'll do, they'll connect with you. And here you are with this big old good heart and all this love and all this concern and all of this, and you welcoming in snakes into your life, because you're able to provide for them. Once again, they won't go to battle. They won't pick up a sword. But what they'll do, they'll come back and say, man, woo, boy, why y'all didn't call me? Man, we called you all day long. We've been calling you. We were calling you. Because if I'd have been there, I'd have whooped me somebody. You lying. You knew we were going into battle. I'm talking good. And I don't know how long. I don't know how this is going to go. All I know is that I've been assigned to do a dive-in, check-in, uncut, lessons learned too late. Important people, my brothers and sisters, they come and they go, and it's okay. Don't you allow your emotional state to be thrown down. You may hurt, but man, hurt, cry, do whatever you got to do, kick them tears out your eyes, and keep going. The Bible says in Acts 15, verse 39, that the contention between Paul and Barnabas was so sharp until they departed asunder from each other. Man, they said, Trick, you going on. You going on about your business. You want to know why? Because important people come and go. Barnabas had served his purpose with Paul. Paul had served his purpose with Barnabas, and Barnabas chose to bring along somebody who was not going to be beneficial. He just wanted to bring them along, hoping and praying that one day they were going to get it together. And Paul said, I don't have time for dead weight. And in 2022, brothers and sisters, you need to get to the place where you understand you don't have time to be carrying dead weight. They were important for that moment, but now you got to move on. Bible says that that the contention was so sharp between them. That means they were mad at each other. That means that they were about to tussle. They were about to fight. You want to know why? Because now it comes to a head. And thank God that you find out when you find out where people are in your life. Thank God for that. I'm going to clap my hand and give God praise. That you find out who people are. That you find out how people roll. That you find out how they will do in the midst of critical situations. Hope y'all hearing me today on this dive in, check in, uncut. Lessons learned too late. People have lost opportunities. People have lost chances, all because they were holding on to important people who had lost their importance. They were no longer meant to be in your life that way. They served their purpose. They served you, but most importantly than that, baby, you served them and you served them well. And they wanted to control the dynamics of your life. Paul and Barnabas never connected anymore. And you know what? It's okay. They went on to do what they were called to do. Listen to me. It's okay. Stop being mad at folk. They made a choice. They made a choice to go with the other folk. They made a choice to try to smear your name. They made that choice. And then other folk went along. Other folk went along with them and started smearing your name and tried their best to bring you down. But if God be for us, who can be against us? I'm talking and I'm trying to tell you that we have to get these lessons that were learned too late by so many people. People still sitting around taking medication and depressed, all because people who were once important lost their importance. You want to know why they lost their importance? Because they were not willing to be there during the important times. Confidants, people who believe in you. Constituents, those who believe what you believe. And comrades, those that have the same enemy that you have. Watch the comrades, because once you eliminate the enemy, they will kill you. The constituents, they're gonna only be there as long as you're able to get them elevated. But once they find somebody else, they're gonna go be with them. But the confidant, we don't even want to consider them an important person. You consider them an essential person. The confidant is essential. Important people come and go, and that's okay. Because something is only important as long as it's important. Y'all missing what I'm saying? Something is important as long as it's important. But you got to get to the place where you understand. So I hope y'all receive something on this first dive in, check in, uncut. Lessons learned too late. Important people come and go. So you need to understand that important people in your life, and I'm getting ready to get out, they can become strangers overnight. Did y'all hear me? People can be important in your life in the morning, and by the time nightfall, they ain't in that position no more. And then all of a sudden, ready for this? Here's the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not a train. Is that strangers can become important in your life, just like that. Just like important people can change overnight. God can bring about total strangers, and all of a sudden, they become a support, because Silas got with Paul. And y'all know what happened just one chapter later, Acts 16:25. Paul and Silas was locked in jail. And y'all know what happened. They started singing praise to God, and the prisoners heard him, and the prison came open. But this was somebody else that God brought along for Paul. You need to understand that God got you. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you. You know that's my jam. Thoughts of peace and not of evil to bring you to an expected end. God's got some great stuff for you. But you got to stop having a memorial service every time somebody shows who they really are. I said it yesterday on the live. I'm going to say it again. DMX, who's gone on. DMX says, trust people to be who they are. If they're a liar, trust them to be a liar. If they're a thief, trust them to be a thief. If they're a manipulator, trust them to be a manipulator. Don't be expecting nothing else. Just expect people to be who they are. I'll tell this one story and then I'm going to go. And that is a man saw a snake crossing the street, trying to cross the highway. And he was having a problem getting across the street. And so what the man did was he picked the snake up, took him on the other side of the street, dropped him off. When he put him on the ground, snake bit him and put poison in him, and the man was dying and choking. And the man said, "Why would you do that? And I helped you across the street." Snake said to him, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up. What made you think I was going to change? Because you helped me get to the other side." He said, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up." And the man died because he saw his contribution to the snake as being something important. And he learned this lesson too late. Let's not be like that man. If you see a snake, just let the snake be a snake. If you sense that people are in your life and they're not benefiting you and they're not causing you to go and grow, or they're trying to get you to bring something along that's going to be detrimental to you, man, let them go. Let them go. And then don't let them go mad. Just let them go. You ain't got to go away angry. Just go away. And watch how God works it out. This is your Facebook pastor and friend, your YouTube motivator, your Instagram inspirer, saying that we thank God for you. Hey, Sister Cynthia, go back and listen to the live if you would. I hope this has been a blessing to y'all. If it has been, invest in what we're doing in EV McCright Ministries. Cash App is $ Eric McCright. We will greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep doing what God has called for us to do. We're going to keep on sharing. I'll be back home tomorrow for another dive-in, check-in, uncut. So today's lesson that's learned too late is that important people come and go, and it's okay. I hope you've been blessed by this. I hope that it's helpful to you. Like and share if you would. Invest if you will, please. And we will greatly appreciate it. We love y'all. We're praying for you. Pray for me as I continue to do what God has called for me to do. God bless you. We love you. Bye-bye.